Did get my good side right.
I thought you said you didn't have a good side. Josh Zabec here with Jason Trombly.
Pleasure to be here.
I had to put a French accent.
I don't know why you didn't. But so glad to be on and have a chance to talk about some of this stuff that we've been talking about for hours.
I know there's a lot to go over. Talking about all the community and helping each other. And we actually started something. Took a little bit of my skills and your knowledge and put it together with the help of somebody else. We'll talk about him, I'm sure.
I've been an avid sports fan my whole entire life. I've collected sports memorabilia, and it's just something that's been
my name is Jason Trombly, and I'm addicted to collecting sports memorabilia.
Sports memorabilia addict.
You would have your notebook, and you would track the auctions before there was any of this crazy stuff.
Watch them and see what things were going for and what people were buying stuff for, what people were selling stuff for. I loved that. Going back to being a kid and collecting baseball cards. As an adult, it just became an autograph thing instead of a baseball card thing. So I had hundreds of pictures of athletes that I loved growing up, Hall of Fame athletes that signed pictures, and I frame them and put them on the walls. Always have stayed into that hobby. It would have been just right here at the end of last month, another huge scandal broke out in the sports memorabilia world. A guy made the announcement that his warehouse housing $700 million worth of sports memorabilia had gotten raided by the FBI earlier that morning. And he detailed how they were faking the certificates of authenticity, how they were faking the stickers that are being put onto the items, how they were getting autopen to fake the autographs that were on these items. None of them were real, legit, signed by those athletes. This is an industry that myself and a couple of close friends really care about. It's a hobby to us, but at the end of the day, it's something that we believe in. And the value in this does come from having trust. And so when something like this comes out, all of a sudden you go, hey, all this stuff I've been collecting all these years, it is real, isn't it? And how much of it isn't that's out there? So we reached out to a couple of these guys and came up with some ideas on how to try to help the sports memorabilia hobby industry not take as big of a hit from this as they possibly could. One of the ways that we did that is by coming out with our new company here called CheckTheHolo. So every one of your sports memorabilia is going to have a hologram attached to it that has a number. You can then go online, look it up, and see that item is authentic. What problem here was this gentleman was buying authentic autographs and making exact duplicates. So when you go to that Upper Deck or that Fanatics or that Beckett website and you look up the number, it says this is an authentic piece. The problem is 1,000 other people have that same exact hologram number on their piece. And so what CheckTheHolo does is it's going to be a place where people can go and enter their hologram numbers on items they own, and it will flag it if someone else owns that piece with that number. This is now going to be able to flush out which one of these items that this guy bought and then made a whole bunch of duplicates of it. If we can find out which numbers have been compromised and remove those numbers from circulation, we can get back to having that faith and confidence in what we're purchasing and collecting as a hobby is legitimate. On this post, he says that 95% of all Aaron Judge and 95% of all Patrick Mahomes autographs are fakes. He said 97% of Brady's are fakes, but he didn't copy every hologram. He got his hands on a certain number of Brady's and then made a bunch of copies of that one. And if we can all work together as a community and everybody enters those numbers in, we'll start to see which ones are duplicates. We'll know which numbers have been compromised, and we can flush those out. Everybody knows not to buy these with these numbers anymore. And if we know all the ones that have been compromised and we know not to buy any of those, all of a sudden problem solved, and we don't have to worry about 97% of them are fake because we're not buying that 97%. We've come together as a community to say, hey, if we work together on this thing, we can do this really easily. If not, it's going to stick around like Operation Bullpen did.
You had a conversation with somebody and you're like, do I know anybody that programs? Every time I do a side project, because my overall goal is the window hospital and growing that and the franchise. I'm always able to take something that I built from somebody else and be like, oh, I learned that this go around, then I can implement it there.
Put it into what you're doing.
So I took this as a fun side project. I get more involved in it. You just want these little features to work, like not having to use AI as a camera scanner so that the members can get more scans so that you're not charging.
Exactly.
Without a database, you have nothing. If people don't put their information in, it's worthless. You got to help each other. I even asked you, like, you haven't put in everything of yours and we made this for you.
Sure.
Including Wes. Everybody has to take that step and put it in. As more items get entered, nobody knows how many are out there. And then beyond that, I would urge the dealers right now, anybody that's watching this that has these in their possession, I'll give you free access right now. I'll let you do every card that you have, every hologram. I'll give you free access right now. Reach out to us and scan in every one of these holographs, and we can track them when they move from point A to point B. Odds are if there's 1,000, 10,000, nobody knows. There's probably more than one dealer that's holding the same card or hologram right now. So everybody has to make it work or else it doesn't work. So I'm begging.
It's definitely community based. If I went out and I pulled a $20 bill out of my pocket and made an exact copy of it, every $20 bill's got a different serial number on it.
Right.
And now all of a sudden that serial number is all over the place. And now there's twice as many $20 bills in circulation. But if half of them have the same serial number on them, what we could do as a country is say, hey, let's enter the serial numbers on all of our $20 bills and figure out which one they copied and then know not to accept that one anymore.
We do it on where'sgeorge.com.
Simple.
Where'sgeorge.com. You can put in the serial number of a bill and it will show you where it tracks to and from. You can also know if this has been verified through somebody. It might have an additional verification that you may have forgotten to mail the paperwork back. So now you have a verification on here that you wouldn't have found out because it's tracking it in the site. Maybe it shows that the previous owner had PSA worthless, JSA worthless, and then they had Goat Authentics, and it's actually legit. Am I allowed to say that?
Sure.
Opinions. I'm not a professional. I know nothing. And because I know nothing, the more I get into it, I'm just like, everything is connected. There's the evaluators.
All of a sudden, when you start finding out that the auction houses and the companies that are authenticating these autographs are all owned by the same people, it starts to full loop us back into our other thing. And that might have to be another podcast.
Yeah, I know. And maybe we'll have more to talk about then because we'll be able to talk about how many dupes we found, how many this we found. Absolutely. And at this point,
enter in all of the items that you currently own and are in possession of. Our search feature will allow you to enter any item that you are considering purchasing and know whether or not that number has been compromised in the past. The way to make this thing happen really fast is if those auction houses, if the card shops, if the memorabilia dealers out there enter their inventory, because as we get thousands of these hologram numbers all entered in, the duplicates will pop up. But without people putting them in, we'll never find out which ones are fake. And that's what lets these guys ruin our hobby and devalue the things that we thought we could invest in.
There's nothing I gain right now from this, personally.
Of course.
A little pride. It's probably why I'm doing it. You've had people be like, obviously you'll gain some from it because you have collectibles and you want to know where your stuff's at. I have more of a sense in getting after the big unscrupulous corporate companies that dominate these industries, the same that I'm doing now, and anything that I can do to help expose them and be like, this is wrong.
Big companies have known about this for years. Wes, who's partnering with us on this adventure, has been involved in this for years. He is probably the best Michael Jordan signature authenticator, and he's been doing this for free. He is really trying to help people protect those investments and get the word out there. He's been raising red flags to Upper Deck and to Fanatics, to Panini, and letting them know, hey guys, your stuff is getting faked. It's on eBay right now. This is not your sticker. The guy did not sign this item, but they have duplicated stuff that you are doing. It's hurting the hobby, and it got ignored because these large companies don't want to question the authenticity of the items they're selling. And if it's easy to copy it, who's going to buy the next item from them? So they swept it under the rug for years, and I think everybody hoped it was much smaller than it really was. And then when it comes to light, that more than half the stuff out there isn't real. I think that's going to give these guys a reason to start looking into some of these things, taking it more seriously, making sure they can't be faked, and helping out the community and making sure that things are real. Because when we look for support from them in the past, you didn't get anything from them. So I think if they want to keep their reputations and keep their buyers, there's been a little earthquake that hit this industry, and they've got to help settle some of this stuff.
I don't think they felt it yet, to be quite honest. Everybody's just waiting.
Everybody's at the National right now in Chicago. I wonder how much less items are purchased this year compared to last year's National.
And I wonder what will be next year.
If only somebody could come up with a site where people could go and check on their holos.
Call it CheckTheHolo.
If they made it free to everyone, just to make sure that we can do everything we can to flush these fakes out and protect the community we love so much.
It's going to cost you money if we have that many users and it costs us money. That's what Amazon affiliate links are for. And you buy shadow boxes on there to keep it free.
There will never have to be a cost to any of this as long as enough people are doing it and it's working.
Yep.
So
we'll end it on that.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
Thanks for coming, man. We'll see you next time.
Ferns.